Hi, third grade. We're back. Long time no see. What do you say? She's shy. What are we reading, V? Lulu's Mysterious Mission. And we are on what chapter, V?
Chapter 13.
13. And tell them, V. It's a short chapter or a long chapter?
Long chapter.
It's a really long chapter, so bear with us, okay? So we're going to read chapter 13. And what happened the last time we were together? Do you remember what happened, what we were reading in chapter 12? When we were ending chapter 12, remember we had chapter 12 and a half. And they said that we had a lot of questions, that we're halfway through, and we still don't know what her mission is, her mysterious mission is, right? But remember, last chapter ended when there was a giant disaster in her room. Remember, there was all that stuff getting broken, and Miss Zielinski kicked in the door, remember? Okay, so here we go, chapter 13. As Lulu and Miss Zielinski stared at each other. Give them your stare, V. Oh, mean stare. Across the wreckage of the room, Lulu began to chant her little chant. You want to chant with us? Remember our chant? You can join us. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, that babysitter's got to go. Hot or cold, or sun or snow, that babysitter's got to go. Soon, not later, fast, not slow, that babysitter's got to go. Up and down and to and fro, that babysitter's got to go. Forehead, belly, knee and toe, that babysitter's got to go. Ha, 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 and ho, 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 that babysitter's got to go. There she is chanting. Scare me. This time, however, Lulu didn't bother to chant her chant secretly under her breath, to herself, or alone in her bed. Instead, she chanted it loudly and outrageously and shamelessly, while standing face to face with Miss Zielinski, who was, how do you think she felt? She was not amused. You are, she told Lulu, an impudent, insolent, insubordinate child. Impossible, incorrigible, and insufferable. Lots of I words. I'm not quite sure what all those words mean, said Lulu to Miss Zielinski. Why don't you give me a minute to look them up? I am not amused, said Miss Zielinski, but you are in trouble. In really big trouble. I'm taking pictures, and that's what, click, 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 she started doing, of how you completely and totally wrecked my room. And click, 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 I'm ready to send them right this minute to my mom and my dad. So Lulu's turning it around. She's saying, you wrecked my room, you kicked my door in, I'm telling mom and dad. And why would you do that? Asked Miss Zielinski. Because when they see what you've done to my room, said Lulu, I'm sure they'll be flying back home on the very next plane. Think it's going to work? Well, what do you know? Just as you maybe suspected, this was Lulu's plan D. And it has worked. I did what had to be done, Miss Zielinski told Lulu. I make no apologies. That's what it means to be a trained professional. But that's probably not what it means to be, Lulu said, and I'm quoting directly, the best babysitter in town, maybe the world. Let me say once again that I make no apologies, Miss Zielinski told Lulu. But clearly my training to be a babysitter wasn't nearly as exhaustive or effective as my training to be a spy. Whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? What in the world was that? What did Miss Zielinski just say? Excuse me? Gasped an astonished, astounded, amazed, and goggle-eyed Lulu. Did you just say spy? I did, Miss Zielinski reluctantly replied. I never should have said it. That was a terrible breach of security, but I did. You personally were trained to be a spy? Asked a stumpified Lulu. Trained and served as a spy, said Miss Zielinski, loudly and proudly. Wait till you see Lulu's reaction. very surprised. She was clearly enjoying Lulu's adoring attention, code name Triple S. Another security breach, but never mind. Code name? She had a code name? Triple S was her code name? Oh, Lulu loved it. So wait, Lulu said, you trained and served as a spy, and now you're a former spy, a retired spy, and at present a full-time babysitter, whose specialty, you may recall, is babysitting. Are you falling asleep on my reading?
No.
Okay, good. You better not be falling asleep either. And it's babysitting especially difficult children. The especially difficult children stuff should have made Lulu angry all over again, except she was too thrilled about the spy stuff. She stood there saying nothing, but her brain was churning and churning, after which it churned and churned and churned some more, after which came the following conversation. Lulu, a former spy, a retired spy, not a spy anymore, but it sounds like you still remember how to do it. Miss Zelinsky, of course I remember. Once a spy, always a spy. Lulu, and did you, may I call you Triple S? Did you, Triple S, have lots and lots of amazing spy adventures? Miss Zelinsky, amazing and successful. In fact, I was so good at my work that I wound up being named head of all spy training. A spy so good that she was a trainer of spies? Oh, Lulu was so excited she could hardly breathe. She pressed her hand against her chest to calm her pounding heart, and then asked the questions that she was burning to ask. Would you, could you, please, dear Triple S? Did she just say dear? Would you stay here and train me to be a spy? Train her to be a spy? Lulu wanted spy training for the very exact same woman. Lulu wanted spy training from the exact same woman about whom she'd repeatedly been chanting those exceptionally unfriendly chants. Boy, we talk about characters changing. Has Lulu changed right now? Oh, big time, right? Miss Zelinsky looked long and coldly at Lulu. Excuse me, she said, but what's happened to all those cute little eeny, meeny, miny, moes? What's happened to those photographs you were sending to your parents to get them to fly back home? On the very next plane. Weren't you only recently trying all kinds of fiendish tricks to get me to go? And now all of a sudden you want me to stay? Lulu hung her head. She was actually embarrassed. But Lulu being Lulu, she only stayed embarrassed for a few seconds. It's true, she told Miss Zelinsky, that I wanted you, the babysitter, to go. But I definitely want you, the spy, to stay. I just this minute decided that I want to be a spy when I grow up. And you are the perfect person to teach me how. Why would I want to do that? Asked Miss Zelinsky. Want to show the picture? Oh, this picture shows how Lulu's feeling. What do you think, V? How do you think she's feeling? V says, not good. I agree. Because I really want you to, answered Lulu. That's it, said Miss Zelinsky. Because you want me to? Do you usually get what you want just because you want it? Oh, we all know the answer to that, right? Usually, said Lulu. Are you saying yes? There's no reason in the world for me to say yes, said Miss Zelinsky. Actually, there is, said Lulu, a warning tone in her voice. If you send out these pictures of my wrecked room to my mom and my dad, plus the entire universe, everyone will think that you're the worst babysitter in town. Maybe the world. Sonia Sophia Zelinsky, trained professional. Ha! Your reputation would be dog poop. You are without a doubt, said Miss Zelinsky. Are you sleeping on me again?
No.
You are without a doubt, said Miss Zelinsky, the most especially difficult, Of all the especially difficult children I've babysat. But I wouldn't be, said Lulu, suddenly switching to a pretty please tone of voice, if I were being trained as a spy instead of being babysat by you. I'd obey your every command. I'd do whatever you told me to. I'd want to do brisk runs and bean and beet omelets. Miss Zelinsky, whose face had been as stern and as stony as something carved on a mountain, seemed to be softening just a little bit. She did not want Lulu's parents to come home. Check out this picture. There she is. Oh, look at Lulu in the background. You can see Lulu's begging, please, please, please. Still Miss Zelinsky, not a very happy face. Maybe thinking about it. So, she didn't want Lulu's parents to come home. And what were they going to do if they came home? Fire her. She did not want her reputation to be, what did she say? Dog poop. And training a spy would certainly be more interesting than being a babysitter. Even if the spy she'd been training was Lulu. Total obedience, she asked. Total, Lulu promised. I'll get back to you with my answer in an hour, said Miss Zelinsky. Meanwhile, clean up as much of this mess as you can. Lulu started to say no way was she cleaning up this mess. And then she realized that wasn't a good idea. Instead, she stood up straight, clicked her heels, saluted, and said, yes, sir, to Miss Zelinsky. Except this time, she was saying it so earnestly, so respectfully, so politely, that Miss Zelinsky was not amused. There she is, saluting, her face. That brings us to chapter 14. That was a really long chapter. A lot happened. So we've got a whole change of events here. She no longer wants to get rid of Miss Zelinsky, does she? She wants her to stay and do what? See, she was snoozing on my reading. Train her to be a spy. Make a prediction in your head. What's she going to do? What's going to happen in chapter 14? I'll give you a sneak peek at the picture on the first page of chapter 14. All right, because of our snow day and our crazy week, tomorrow I will post chapter 14, so you don't have to wait long to see what's going to happen. And chapter 14, let's take a real quick look, is a medium chapter, not nearly as long as chapter 13. But we're going to have some cool things happening. So we'll see you next time for Lulu's Mysterious Mission. Enjoy your day. See you. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.